Good evening, everyone. Jumping back on here to go in through our preview of Kansas race weekend. Throwing it in there a little quick. I had to wait for qualifying to finish for the Cup Series, which just finished a little bit ago. And then we, coming up in about 45 minutes, roughly right around there, around 7 o'clock Eastern time, we'll have the green flag will drop for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. So wanted to get in and get this going before that started for sure. So we'll look at Kansas real quick. Kansas is a typical, as it was called back in the day, a cookie cutter track. A bunch of them were built in the same style. 1.5 mile with a tri-oval around the front. So instead of just being a perfect oval, it comes around and near the start finish line, it kind of comes out and goes and then back down. So it's kind of the nickname it's got is called a tri-oval. So a bunch of them are built like that. Kansas, Texas, Atlanta back in the day before they changed the configuration was like that. Charlotte. There's numerous other ones that I'm sure I'm leaving out too. So, but it's why it got the nickname the cookie cutter, because it was just all the same. But it is a very exciting track to be at. Lots of crazy finishes and races out there. So looking at the track itself, like I said, it's a 1.5 mile. It uses the progressive banking, which means that at the bottom lane, the inside lane of the track is 17 degrees, and at the top is 20. So just kind of a lot of tracks are going to this progressive banking now. The front stretch is 10 degrees and the back stretch is 5 degrees. So again, it's going to be pretty standard with a few other tracks as far as the banking and stuff like that goes. So nothing real crazy. You'll hear me talk about this a lot with the cookie cutters and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we're looking at with Kansas's layout. I mentioned it does have some wild finish. You can run pretty much anywhere on this track. You can run the top lane, you can run the bottom lane, you can run the middle lane, and you'll find drivers moving around to find grip. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it gets, you can run 2-3 wide there pretty easily. So we'll see how it lays out with it. Kansas is responsible for the closest race in the history of NASCAR. I want to say it was, I don't want to get the year wrong. It was just a couple of years ago, though. But Kyle Larson edged out Chris Buescher by 1/1000th of a second. So I don't know, that you could ever get any closer than that. So I'm not sure any timing system would be able to go further than that. So pretty crazy when you think about it. I've mentioned it before on the previous NASCAR podcast that Chris Buescher probably hates this week because NASCAR hypes up that finish so much, and they'll talk about it 3, 4, 5, 6 times during the race, if not more. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if on the pre-race show they don't pull Chris Buescher on and talk to him about it, or Kyle Larson, who beat him. So gotta feel bad for Chris Buescher having to relive that every time they come back here. So, but it was a crazy finish. I thought Chris Buescher beat him, but photos and timing tell me a different story. So we'll jump in real quick to O'Reilly, the auto parts series there. Now, rain, thunder, lightning, all that great, lovely stuff that came through Kansas yesterday washed out practice and qualifying. So it was set by the metric, which is car points and all this, and finishing the last race and all that stuff. There's a little algorithm they use, or I guess an equation to figure out how to set the lineup when practice and qualifying doesn't happen. And so with that, Carson Kvapil was granted the pole, followed by Cup Series drop down William Byron, Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, Brent Cruz, Corey Day, William Sawalich, Parker Retzloff, Jesse Love, Taylor Gray, Warriors top 10. 11 through 20 was Sammy Smith, Ryan Sieg, Raja Caruth, Brandon Jones, Austin Hill, Jeb Burton, Brennan Poole, Jeremy Clements, Sam Mayer, and Harrison Burton. Bringing up 21 to 30, we're going to go Blaine Perkins, Dean Thompson, Josh Balicki, Patrick Staropoli. It's Dr. Patrick Staropoli. Kyle Sieg, Luke Baldwin, LeVar Scott, Dawson Cram, Ryan Ellis, Josh Williams. Josh Williams most famously known for getting black flagged in a race and then parking the car on the start-finish line and getting out and walking away while caution was going on. Josh Williams, crazy. But your guys at the bottom, you've got Anthony Alfredo, Nathan Bird, Joey Gase, Mason Maggio, Austin Green, Cole Custer, a Cup Series drop down, which that card didn't really have much, so it's going to start in the back. Doesn't have a whole lot to lean on. So that doesn't mean Cole Custer qualified bad. Of course, it just means that based on the points metric that car's bad. And then Blake Lothian. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Blake Lothian. If you ever watch this, I'm very sorry. Predictions in the O'Reilly series are getting kind of crazy. I kind of feel like I could clip this and just cut and paste it into every O'Reilly's video preview just because it just seems to be the norm. You got to watch your Cup Series, guys. Even though Custer's in the back, you got to watch him. He's good at this track. He's good in this kind of car. You've got to watch him coming to the front with the experience he has. You've got William Byron, of course, you've got to watch. And he's starting second, so that's a huge plus to him. But as far as your regulars, you definitely, Carson Kvapil being on the pole, Justin Allgaier, Sheldon Creed, Brent Cruz, Corey Day is really, really somebody I'm watching, along with William Sawalich. Austin Hill and Jesse Love, the teammates, they started really strong. They've kind of been right about now. They're doing okay, but there's just something seems to be off a little bit. So we'll see if they can flip it around here at Kansas. But I mean, if you're asking me who my top three at the end of the race, I'm going to go Allgaier, Byron, Sawalich. If I do my top three without putting Cup Series drivers in there, just the top three from the O'Reilly Series regulars, I'm going to go Allgaier, Sawalich, and Kvapil. So that's what I would do without the Cup Series guys in the race. But they're there, so there's not much you can do about it. We also, this is race 2 in the Dash for Cash. Justin Allgaier won it at Bristol. So, again, that was his 8th time winning one of these. So far he has earned $800,000 over the years of this event. We'll see if he can make it 900 this week. Your drivers that are eligible: Brent Cruz, Justin Allgaier, Carson Kvapil, and Sheldon Creed. So, again, you don't have to win the race. You just have to beat the other 3. So, even if Justin Allgaier finishes second to William Byron, he's going to win the Dash for Cash and then automatically qualify for the next one as well. So, no matter, as long as you beat the other 3 competitors for it, you move on. And then the top 4 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series regulars move on to Talladega's Dash for Cash, which is next weekend. So we'll just have to wait and see how the race plays out tonight. At the end of the night, we'll know. When you watch the preview or the review of this weekend on Monday, you will know who the drivers are moving on to Talladega. So we'll have a little talk about that. So that's where we sit with the O'Reilly series. Like I said, they'll drop the flag here probably about close to 30-ish minutes, 30, 45 minutes. Cup Series. Been some changes in the Cup Series this week. For personal, I don't know anything else except what's been reported. The number 21 car will have a new crew chief this week. The regular crew chief, Miles Stanley, has not traveled to Vegas for some personal reasons. That's all that was released. Won't get into anything more because I don't know anything more. I do know one thing I'm going to watch real close at the Kansas race is the number 12 car. And I'm going to watch it close because, as I've mentioned, that's probably been the best car all year on the circuit, sitting second in points. And if he had a better pit crew, he would probably be leading the points and probably would have won 4 or 5 races already this year. So they don't like to just sit by and let things go and try to. They give it a chance. Well, they're making pit crew changes now coming into this week. Kind of upsets me too because they took the pit crew. They took the jack man off the number 21 car. So I'm like, well, that's not fair. So we'll see how it plays out. If this doesn't, make it any better, then I'm sure there's going to be more changes coming. That 12 team has got to get the pit crew right. They rank, I think, like 32nd or 34th out of 36 regular teams as far as worst pit crew. Of course, the 21 team is only 25th, but I guess 25th is better. So we'll see how it plays out. Everybody kind of knew this was coming. They're not going to sit back on their laurels. They're going to try to fix this because they know that car should have won multiple races. So we'll see how the pit crew shakeup happens. Driver really doesn't have anything to do with that. He just drives the car and parks it in the pit box and then they do their thing. So if they're not doing their thing, then they're going to find somebody that will do their thing and do it better. So, looking at your Cup Series, your qualifying, as I mentioned, was just done a few minutes ago. We'll run through your starting lineup and we'll start at the bottom, work our way forward. Starting 37th is Ty Dillon, and then 36, Connor Zilich, Cody Ware, Austin Cindric, Alex Bowman, John Hunter Nemechek, Ross Chastain, and Josh Berry starts in 30th. Going 29 to 20, Cole Custer, Noah Gragson, AJ Allmendinger, Todd Gilliland, Zane Smith, Corey Heim, who's moving in and driving the extra car. That's where there's 37 instead of 36 this week. Kyle Busch, Riley Herbst, Brad Keselowski, and Austin Dillon is your 20th place. Going 19 to 10, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, Shane Van Gisbergen, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Joey Logano, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Christopher Bell, and Bubba Wallace. Starting in 9th is the aforementioned number 12 car of Ryan Blaney. Daniel Suarez, good qualifying by Suarez in 7th, or in 8th. That's really good for him. Chris Buescher, Carson Hocevar, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick. If you want to look at the top 10 and break it down by manufacturer, you're looking at 5 Toyotas, 2 Fords, 3 Chevys. That's a trend in Kansas. The Toyotas are really, really good at this track. Really good. So we're going to see how this plays out. If I'm not mistaken, these might be the past 3 winners too. Ty Gibbs won last week at Bristol. Denny Hamlin won Martinsville. No. Chase Elliott snuck up and won Martinsville. I take that back. So I was there. I should know. But either way, the Toyotas are really good at this track. Really, really good. Kyle Larson is also good at this track. So we'll see how this plays out for the Fords in the Chevy camp. You're going to look at Hendrick Motorsports and probably Spire with 2 cars in the top 10. That's really impressive for Spire. And then if you want to look at the Ford camp, you're going to have to look at Chris Buescher, Blaney, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano. Pretty much your Team Penske's and your RFK Racing are the ones you're going to watch at that in that series. So we want to jump over. I'll give you my predictions first. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go back to back. I'm gonna give Ty Gibbs his 2nd career win. Momentum is a huge thing. I'm gonna go Ty Gibbs. I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher, and Carson Hocevar are going to be my top 5 finishers. Doesn't necessarily exactly mean that's what I'm going to do on my fantasy lineup, because due to you only have so many starts per person. But that'd be kind of what I'm looking at: Gibbs, Hamlin, Larson, Buescher, Hocevar. See how that plays out. Probably not real well. So we'll jump over and look at our fantasy lineup. We're going to get Josh Berry out of here. I still have 8 uses with Reddick. I'm going to throw him in there. Denny Hamlin, I only have 6, so I need to pull him out. I'll put Ty Gibbs in. Joey Logano, I have 7. I need to pull him out, but I have 9 with Kyle Larson still, so we'll throw him in. I'd really like to leave Blaney in, but only 6 starts left in the season, so I can't do that. We're going to throw the Hurricane Carson Hocevar in. William Byron, pull him out. Let's see. I'm going to go Buescher. I've got 9 with him left. And in my garage, we're going to pull Shane Van Gisbergen, and we're going to put Chase Briscoe in there. Head-to-head matchups, I'll give me Ty Gibbs over Bubba Wallace. I'm going to go Reddick over Larson. I'm going to go Blaney over Byron. And I'm going to go Chase Elliott over Chastain. So that's my stuff. You want to look down here at your picks. Just what they say. These are not mine. These are powered by DraftKings, by the way. So Kyle Larson is your hot pick, followed by Denny, who is a great bet. Stay away from Ryan Blaney. I would say normally that is correct. With only 2 top 10 finishes in the last 6 Kansas races. This car's different this year, so I'm kind of bucking the trend with this one. I took him out of my lineup because of usage. If you still had 9 to 10 uses left for Blaney, I'd definitely throw him in here. I didn't, so I took him out. That car's different this year. They're by far the fastest car on the circuit. Passing cars, they've passed more cars than anybody else. And again, part of that's the pit crew putting them behind. But I don't. And Ty Gibbs, I agree. He hasn't been great at Kansas. Still younger, but momentum's huge in this sport. And the Toyotas are so good here. So I would take a chance with Ty Gibbs. And I did. So. And then your sleeper, Bubba Wallace. He's actually won this race in 2022. So I don't know. We'll see about Wallace. I forgot. He's starting 10th, so he's not bad. He could be somebody you could put in your garage. He'd be somebody. If I was going to use DraftKings and put anything on, I would probably put a little bit just because of the odds on Bubba for at least a top 5. Let me just see what happens, but I don't generally do that because NASCAR is so volatile with anything can happen, and it's not your driver is not in control all the time if somebody wrecks right in front of him. So I don't normally go that way, but those are the fantasy picks. Go back up here. Let's go to fantasy. We'll make our picks for our 36 for 36. I think I missed one last week. Yeah, I think I knew I did. I got busy with my granddaughter's birthday party, so I get a pass for missing one. I don't like to miss one, but I did. So let's see. Who do I have available? Do I have Tyler Reddick available? I do. So that's where we're going. I mean, even missing a week, though, look, I'm still sitting. I mean, I know it doesn't look great, but I'm still sitting in 27,000th place out of God knows how many. And that's with missing a week. Actually, I think I might have missed 2 weeks. I have to go back and look. What are we doing here? Why won't you let me scroll back? That's weird. Oh, well. Let's see. I wonder if I can look at my results. I guess I could, but I'd have to figure it out. So just curious if I missed any other weeks. I don't know if I did or not. So no big deal. But that's kind of where we are. So we've got our fantasy team set. We have our 36 for 36. Well, I guess now it'll be 35 for 36. And then we look at our fan rewards. See what's going on here. We're almost at 3,000 points. Not bad. If you're using your fan rewards, you can go in and vote for your Hall of Fame class, which I haven't done yet. That just came up. But you can go on under the All-Star fan vote and click it, and you can vote 5 times per day. This is just for any driver that's not already qualified for the All-Star race in a few weeks at Dover. What this is this will be the last person in. So say they take 23 cars, 22 will get in the race, and then they'll have some qualifying races, and one of those will get in, and then whoever is the highest fan vote is getting in. So you'll notice like people that won a race last year. So like Josh Berry, he's already qualified. Ty Gibbs has won a race before the thing. So any of these guys, like if Daniel Suarez wins today, he's going to be in the All-Star race because he's won before that race. So pretty much anybody that wins throughout this year and anybody that wins next year before the All-Star race would be qualified too. So it's pretty simple. You just go in, you select who you want, put in your email. Then if you have a fan rewards, it should save it all. Just click you are 18 years old, submit. You can do it. If you're a fan rewards member, you go in and use this code, ASFV26, and you'll get 25 points just for your first vote. You don't get it for every time you vote. Yes, I'm voting for Chris Buescher. And you can do it 5 times per day. Normally, the winner, though I think the past 2 years, has been Noah Gragson. These guys go out and they do like things online with all their social media followings. They do all kinds of stuff. They'll go sit at like a fast food restaurant and serve people food and tell them about it and see if they'll vote for them. And, or, these guys, they get intense with this. They want in this because that All-Star race, the winner of the All-Star race pays $1 million. Gets $1 million. So they want in the race. Even if they don't really have a huge shot, they want in. Because can't win if you're not in. I think that was my last one. Let's see here real quick. Yep. So that's your voting for the thing. I'll have to go look at the one for the Hall of Fame. See if I can get to it real quick. I don't know if I can. There it is. Oops, too far. See what this one is. Okay, so they're going to want your first name. You don't have to select all of these. I just do. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you bring that up, put your stuff in, select the nominees. This is the modern era ballot. There's a couple of different ballots. So you'll select two off of this. I'm going obviously right here. That's hands down for me. Next one's a little tougher. I have a feeling it's going to be Greg Biffle just due to the emotion tied with his passing in the plane accident recently. I could definitely see Neil Bonnet. Jeff Burton is kind of been called the governor because that's how he was looked at by the NASCAR garage when he was racing. Now he's a broadcaster for NBC. Really, really good guy. Everybody loved him. So, but I think it's going to be Biffle. And then you go to the Hall of Fame era. I got to go with Harry Hyde, just because if you've ever seen the movie Days of Thunder, that's where the crew chief for Tom Cruise's car, that's pretty much who he was modeled after. So you pick two of those, one of those, and then your vote. The other one is done by the media. We don't get to vote on that level. That's our NASCAR votes on it. It's for somebody that has done, like the guy that invented the safer barrier got invited. And then there's your code to go get your 25 points there. Hall fan vote 26. So go back. The fan rewards. I just copy and paste them. So we'll go in real quick. So $29.96. Paste. Submit. And eventually it'll pop up. Earn points successfully. So there we go. 3,027. That easy. You know, now I can go in. Boy, this thing's running, this website's running slow today. I guess a lot of people are on. I can go in and get, let's see. Oh, here we go. See, they updated it. So I like this. I can get for, let me see, where's one at? Nashville Speedway. I can get 2 NASCAR Cup Series race. Well, I can't right now, but at 5,000 points I could. But I could get tickets to the Nashville O'Reilly Auto Parts or Craftsman Truck Series race. I mean, they finally got some of the more Cup Series on here. So that's really cool. Michigan Cup Series race. Take sunscreen if you go to that one. But you see a bunch of them are sold out. Darlington is already sold out for NASCAR. So, I mean, you have to get on them as soon as you see them. Again, if you do book tickets or get tickets to any of these races, get on and get your hotel immediately. It's going to be more expensive than it normally would be, unless you want to stay like an hour, hour and a half away and drive every day. And sometimes it's not a bad option to do that if you want to save a little money. But I would suggest if you're doing that, make sure it's one of the bigger tracks because they seem to have a lot more wide open parking for you. But just take into consideration where you're going, get your hotel, you know, immediately. So, but it's glad that I'm glad they put them back on there. some of the tickets. It's just kind of weird they waited this long to release them. Normally they release them earlier. There's a lot already sold out, as you can see. NASCAR tickets go really fast on this. Not sure how people have already got 5,000 points. Well, I guess if you've done, if you buy stuff or whatever, but I don't. So, but yeah, there's still some stuff available. Chicagoland, which is sold out for the Cup Series. But don't think that the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Series aren't fun to go to either. They are. So other than that, I'm going to jump off here and go get myself ready to watch the O'Reilly Series race tonight. Got a busy night tonight. Got the O'Reilly Series race coming up in about 15 minutes. Got NHL hockey going right now. So lots going on this evening. So y'all go have a good evening. Tune in. The race tonight is on CW. And the race tomorrow is at 2 p.m. on Fox. So, and it should be a doubleheader after the NASCAR race. The IndyCar race comes on Fox. So, not at the same track, but yeah, doubleheader on Fox tomorrow. So, go tune in and watch it. And if you do, and you get some questions ready, bring them back on Monday when I do my review of the weekend. And we will answer your questions, concerns, whatever you got. Other than that, you see all our channels scrolling down at the bottom. Go tune in. You can catch me here on YouTube, of course. You can catch me on my Patreon account, SEC Sean, TikTok, SEC Sean. So you can find me on all the stuff out there. It's all SEC Sean. And you can find me, and, we'll engage there and go through stuff. I'm on Spotify under NASCAR Talks for the podcast. We'll go from there, and hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend, and we'll catch up Monday.